Here is the speaker Brian with the translation of the Drops of Inspiration from Ricardo Melo with the theme, Don't Postpone Your Happiness. Hello, my dear friends. The subject of our drop of inspiration of today, do not postpone your happiness. My friends, many people unfortunately have not yet understood this fact about life. They always say they will be happy tomorrow. Their discourse is more or less like this. Tomorrow, when I solve this problem, I'll be happier. When I retire, I'm going to enjoy life. When I get a better job, everything will be settled. By the time I find the love of my life, things will flow. When this boy goes to school or grows up and stops being such a pain in my neck, I will be in peace. By the time my father or my mother stops being so sick or this person disintegrates because there's such a huge trouble, things are going to soften up. And so on and so on. And then you already know where that leads to. It's a huge list that we create to postpone our state of happiness. Usually in a completely wrong way. We usually believe that happiness is something we find, ignoring the fact that happiness is something we feel. And feeling does not depend on finding. How so? Well, we say happiness isn't something that can be found because happiness is not an object. Sometimes we think, I'll be happy when, or, I can say the following, I'll sit down when I find a chair. So you have to find it. If something I want needs to exist so I can have it, it's outside of me. Pay attention to your unconscious programming. This is very serious. Most of us still see happiness as an external factor, but it's outside of you, so it's out of your reach. It's something we always have to look forward to go after. This is not true. So much so that we do not see people talking. If I have money, I will be happy. And they work, achieve a good financial condition, but they find another thing to say they need to have to be happy. There's always a desire, and desire is a bottomless hole where there's always room for more, and then you just replace things to say you need to be happy. When it is not money, it is health. When it is not health, it is an achievement. When it is not an achievement, it is another thing. Long story short, you will never be happy this way, and why? Because happiness is connecting with our current life purpose. Not delaying our happiness is beginning to see the presence of God in our life now, even when amid trials. It is understanding that by the law of cause and effect, knowing that nothing happens by chance, I have right now precisely with my tools and my current hassles the ingredients to prepare a spiritual delicacy. I know that this may seem abstract to people. I perfectly understand that. I used to be like this too, and many people think it is empty talk. Which is a shame because everyone who thinks so are unhappy. It's curious. I've never seen a person be really happy if they disregard the value of being in touch with their higher self. No, usually they are tense and insecure people. They're usually grumpy. Usually they are judgmental people who, because they cannot get in touch with their sacred feelings as a rule, project their frustration on others and are always trying to deconstruct everything that leads to the path of feeling. Why? Because they stick to rationality. They put on an armor. I remember in Germany the armor soldiers used in the Middle Ages. It's something like that. We put on an armor of rationality, thinking that this feeling stuff, this faith stuff, this God stuff is for those who have weak minds, and that we do not need them. If you do not need it, why are you not happy then? If you do not need it, why do you often get depressed? Why do you often keep disconnecting from a peace of mind that you could have? My friends, we're in the middle of a very important planetary transition. It's time to put our pride aside. We all need to learn to be happy now. We all need to connect with the divine presence in the present moment. All of us need to leave our victim positions, which we got used to from a psychological point of view in our spiritual childhood. We need to assume internally that yes, we can be happier. Obviously, that depending on the situation each one is in, we're going to need help. Perhaps, depending on your spiritual maturity, you can't make this transition alone. And that's no problem. Let's get some help from each other. If necessary, let's seek professional help. We have very good therapists, health professionals in the psychological and medical area. Many areas that can help us. If necessary, we will seek social help. If necessary, look for spiritual help that, in my understanding, is necessary for everyone. And then you connect with God by living in a sober and noble way in which you don't only receive but also donate, and you do it happily. You feel happy to be part of a chain of love that judges less and gives more, that makes difference in this life, that requires an hour or two in the week of every fortnight to think, My God, how can I serve mankind? No matter how, by helping people, helping animals, helping take care of the streets, making things clean. Anyway, how can I connect instead of feeling like a separate organism in this great system which is our planet, our universe? Do not postpone your happiness with projects you're not even sure will succeed. This is the truth, and sometimes they even work out and we find something else to be unhappy about. Is that right, my friends? Let's be happy now. Let's learn and drink from the wonderful water of Jacob's well, which Jesus offers to the woman of Samaria, the water of the gospel that renews our hope, our way of looking at life, and our way of living. Again, recalling the celebrated words of Christ, those who have ears to hear, let them hear, and let them have eyes to see. Share the drops of inspiration with your contacts. Let's go spread light and peace. Stay with God, my friends.